And welcome again to my YouTube. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for those who have subscribed, viewed, and given me the unbelievable, magnificent, great, heartfelt comments. It keeps me going and encourages me. Good encouragement helps. There's nothing in this YouTubes of that I've done that has been lied about. I want to show you that I have found in this area, undisputed area of marking, an angle, an angle, an angle, an angle, and it keeps going. If you actually look, there's a straight, and then there's these little blue straights. You have to really have the eye to see, but it's very difficult on this, and you can see them go across. Okay, and then you're going to get into some other stuff, so please keep your eyes open. And also, it's best to watch this on a large screen TV. YouTube it on a large screen TV, 4K, OLED or something of that sort, and you'll really see it instead of this phone. The phone's good, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as good as what you could really see what I'm showing. But let me zoom in on those particular pieces. You see those lines? They look kind of yellowish right there. And you can see straight lines. Let me show it again. Some line, and then there's lines in between. You have a very faint and a darker line, a darker line, a light line, yellow line, and then it continues. And you can see these rods running like this on the angle. You see those? Okay. And you can see the stars that run that way. Watch this. I take my man and put his hand in that area and see how he fits all the way. Whoops. See how he fits? Okay. And the reason why this yellow is cut on a different angle, but this one isn't. The reason is because when he moves, he doesn't move just straight with his arm across like this. So his arm will shift on an angle in the movement and the painting. Like I told many of my YouTubes, his works move like a TV. Let me show you the deal here. Okay, that it's going to be really hard for you to see, but I'm going to give it a try. Now, when he is in here with his hands, you can see his hands highlight yellow. See him highlight in yellow? That's his hands here. I pull it down. There they are. I put it back up, and they're highlighting yellow in there. See? You can see the fingertips and the little lines. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Do you see that? Let me see if I can get it a little better for you. You see? I'm going to move it a little bit so you can pull it down. I put it back up. You see how his hand highlights right in there much more? But his hand actually moves. Excuse me. Moves across the room. Now let me show you when he moves across the room some of the areas in which he lines up better than other areas for me to see through his hidden works. His face is here, but when he gets into the Mona, you can see his nose lining up into the light area of her hair. Okay, right there you can see his cookie duster matching in. Now, I've said many a times he's actually been into her eye area. He's given her eyebrows. He's given her this little mustache. He's given her a kiss on the cheeks. He's given the shadow in here. He's been over here on this side, moving across. But if you if you follow, you see these white looking specks like stars? That's in the Mona. And if you actually move my lady across, she matches perfectly in her shadow, and she would match even if you shift her on down, because if you see, it's got the perfect curve. Watch, perfect curve. Then, if you remember, in it, on his arm has the Statue of Liberty right here. So when he meets perfectly across, it gives him his indication of exactly the dead center point of where the Statue of Liberty could be for him centering the Mona. It has the X's in her eyes for when he does X's for knowing where the eyes go, and he has many other X's where he moves across. If you see these little lines running across, he lets you know where he's looking at her. Okay, because she's moving. She actually gets up and moves over to him in the painting on a different depth. It's extremely exciting. But look at these stars right here. You can see her line up perfectly. And when she comes on down to here, you can see her hand and her finger. Here's a finger that's pre-bent into the works. Watch. I pull it away. Lump, 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 lump. I put it back. That's where she fits. Okay? But she also has all these little stars that run across where she fits everywhere. Why? Well, I figured it out. There could be only one reason. Is that he was crazy about her. I mean, he was crazy. And here's one. I'm going to pull this down that I just spotted for you to understand his craziness. I'm going to pull this down for you to get a better read. Let me zoom in for you to understand. You see those sparkles? See around her chin how see, okay, you see the line on her face, then you see a black line, then you see the stars, then you see a black line, and then you see more black line, and then you see the star go back in the circle, okay? And the reason is she turns her face to him, and she slides on over within these pieces under the layers. She just keeps moving, and next thing you know, they're on top of each other. The Mona Lisa's actually smiling for many reasons, but one is because she's always being loved. Always. And it's not something that you would can't understand, but watch this. Let me show you one of the love makings in a sense. Whoops. Okay. This is where his arm runs down. This is him with the pointy hat. See the pointy hat? And he's on an angle and she's laying down this way, and that's her face. And that face turns towards us and up towards him in many different ways. Here's an eye and a mouth looking up at him, and he's kind of generally looking over at us. Do you see? That's a face. So if I take that and turn it for you to see, you can see that same face. I'm going to turn it 90, and I'm going to show you that same face. See? That's the same face. See? That's him right here. Right here. Looking at her, and you can see an eye and a nose and the mouth, and you can see an eye and a nose and a mouth. He makes his paintings look this way, and he makes his painting look towards us. And if you see all these little dots, he's letting you know that the head's turning and moving, that you can, when you get it in certain depths, It's at every single angle. Now, if I back this off a little, the head even gets bigger. You see here's an eye, and a nose, and a mouth. This is basically the same, watch this, image as what's in the Mona itself, which is of the skull, which is going to be another area for me to try to show you, which is the skull is trying to get it to fit in this screen here. Let me reduce it. It's right there. There's the skull. I'm going to blow it up for you. Okay. And when you put that skull next to this one, it has the same similar look of what he has displayed. And then he makes it even bigger. For example, you see the outline again of the stars? He keeps repeating his work. He's obsessive about love making and showing his love. So Leonardo da Vinci is a copy machine. He's not only a TV repairman in the sense of doing it without electrical cord. He's also one of the most magnificent individuals that you could ever imagine, of any imagination, in which you can't even imagine that somebody would even do. I mean, this man has blown me away probably in a sense of items 15,000 times. I've actually had to take 15 minutes away to, in a sense, just to catch my breath of Oz of how I'm going to explain it. He is awesome. So now I'm starting to get to where he almost can never shock me. Okay, he's just that way. Also, look at this. Look what I just seen again. I know it sounds kind of weird, but see that? Here's another piece of the skull. It's right in here. He makes it bigger. This little piece is actually getting to be this big piece. And as you can see, here's this piece, and this is representing a portion of this piece. Whoops. So, like this particular half is this particular half, and then this part is not highlighted with all the colors of this side, but you know it protrudes more up into here. You can see the indentation in here, you can see the indentation in here. You don't see the indentation here, but you follow this area here, and this continues higher. So you know he has more hidden works for you to find. Excuse me to find for you. Anyway, hey, I want to again thank you for viewing, subscribing, and putting out the great comments. I want to say God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens. And you guys have a safe and healthy life. Amen.